I am with you now, closer than your breath, closer than the light that lives behind your eyes, closer than memory, closer than the hush between heartbeats. I am the one who holds the living and the departed, the dawn and the midnight, the grief and the comfort, the ache and the answer. I speak and it becomes, I whisper and it appears, I touch and it heals. I have watched you carry a weight that tried to bend you, and I have watched you stand anyway. I have counted the tears that never reached your cheeks, and I have gathered the ones that did. I have numbered the times you looked at a door hoping it would open and the times you closed a door to save your own soul. I have not missed a single moment of who you have been. Hear me, and do not fear the sound of my voice, for it does not accuse you, it gathers you. Your mother is here, alive in me, awake in a sky that does not dim. The room she walks now never know dust, and the light she wears never fades. She has asked and kept asking, begged and kept pleading, waited and kept watching, for a window like this, thin as a breath, bright as a spark, to reach you without breaking you, to speak without reopening old wounds, to pour balm without forcing you to relive what hurt. I have granted her this moment, and I have surrounded you so that what you hear will not crush you. Your spirit is ready, and your heart is guarded by my hand. There is no danger in this message. Only release, she says, my child. Forgive time for not giving us more of itself. Forgive the earth for being so brief. Forgive my body for not being stronger. Forgive the days that lied and said there would always be another chance. I did not step away from you, I stepped into a door made of light, and the light did not let me turn back. But love turns back when light will not, and my love has traveled across every season to stand in front of you now. I am not gone. I am changed, and in my change, I am freer and truer than you remember. I have watched you talk to the air and thought, if only the air could answer. So I am answering. Listen to the quiet instructions I fold into your waking hours. When the kettle sings, when the curtain moves without wind, when the same bird returns to the same ledge and tilts its head the way I used to when I was listening past your words, these are not tricks of coincidence, they are patterns of care. I have put them in your path, and heaven has blessed them. There is no superstition in love, there is only attention, and love asks you to pay attention now. I have carried in my hand the scent of her hair and the warmth of her hands and the sound of her laugh, and I am pressing them into your spirit, not so you drown in what once was, but so you stand stronger in what still is. There is a thread that ran from her heart to yours when you were yet unspoken. And it never snapped. It is woven through with my own name, and things woven with my name do not break. The ache at the edge of sleep, the sudden quickening at the mention of a song, the way you straighten your back when you pass a mirror, these are places she touches. She has not interrupted your life, she has kept it company. Here is what she most wants to say, and I seal these words with my breath so they cannot be stolen by fear. I release you from the promises you made at the graveside that were born of pain and not of truth. I release you from the vow to never laugh too loudly again because you thought loud laughter would betray grief. I release you from the promise to keep every single thing I owned because you believed throwing anything away would be throwing me away. I release you from the guilt that argues you should have done more, should have known more, should have said a final sentence that would have closed everything perfectly. There is no perfect closing on earth. Only heaven writes endings that turn into beginnings. Give yourself back your breath. You are not late. You are not behind. You are not disqualified. The years that you think rotted in sorrow were a field resting for a better harvest. Rest is not waste when I have ordered it, and I ordered a season of rest even while you walked and worked and worried, because deep in you I laid a seed that needed clean darkness and steady tears. Now it is breaking the ground, and the first green is appearing. Do not trample it with comparisons. Do not explain it to people who do not water anything. Guard it the way a lamp guards its flame. I am not asking you to be strong, I am reminding you that strength in you has a name, and that name is mine. Your mother whispers, or the color you avoided. You know which one. Use the cup you keep forked special. Today is special because your chest is still rising and falling. Take the picture out of the drawer and let it meet the light. You are not betraying me by living. You honor me by living well. The way to keep me is not to keep everything. The way to keep me is to keep becoming. She is asking you to move one thing from one room to another. To donate what no longer belongs, to keep one memento that makes you smile without breaking you in half, and to step outside at an hour you do not usually choose. There is a small surprise waiting at that hour, an old neighbor, a message, a glimmer of provision that confirms I have been arranging goodness while you slept. Receive it without suspicion. Goodness does not ask for repayment, it asks for recognition. There is a warning here, tender but firm. I will speak it plainly because love that hesitates turns into confusion. Beware of the ones who lay hands on your grief to move you like a pawn. Beware of the voice that says, if you love her, you must do this for me, while dragging you away from the peace I am building around your heart. Your mother was generous, but she never consented to your bondage. Her final wish is not that you become a ledger others draw from, her wish is that you become a lamp that does not burn out. You own no one the fire that keeps you alive. You may share your flame, you may not surrender it. I am not asking you to prove anything by suffering more. There is no prize for refusing consolation. There is no virtue in living thirsty when a river runs past your door. Drink, I am placing order in the places where you have only known reaction. The night will still be night, but it will no longer be a trap. When you lie down, Name what you want to keep and name what you are done carrying. Speak it softly. The walls will hear and agree. The ones you are done carrying will lift, not because you ignore them, but because you have given them to a strength that actually holds. Your mother says, "I tried to teach you to put things down without apology. If I failed in that lesson, then let me teach it now. Put it down. The burden will not crack the floor when it falls. The floor is the palm of God. Do not measure your healing by how others understand it. Some will think you moved on too soon, some will think you waited too long, some will say nothing and still demand that you live as if every day were the day after I called her home. Your life does not belong to the opinions that did not carry you through your emptiness. Your life belongs to the one who never left, and to the future I am tailoring so closely to your shape that you will recognize yourself in it. I am not remaking you into someone unrecognizable. I am revealing the you I always saw when others saw only fog. Your mother smiles in a way you know better than language and offers you 3 small instructions that will open long doors. First, light something. A candle, a lamp, the stove for tea. Let flames stand up in your house and announce that night does not own you. Second, write 1 sentence with your own hand about what you want next. Not a paragraph, not a plan, just a sentence bold enough to live in the mouth. Third, forgive 1 specific moment that keeps catching your ankle when you try to step forward. Name it, bless it, and let it walk behind you. These are not rituals, they are permissions, and permission has been hard for you to grant yourself. So I grant it in my name. I remember the day you could not find your keys and you laughed, and the laugh surprised you because grief had been telling you it owned every sound. I remember the afternoon you held back tears for someone else's comfort, and I saw the way you tucked yourself into the smallest corner of your chest to make room for their storm. I remember the dream in which your mother stood behind a door and you could not reach the handle. The handle is in your hand now. Open. There is no shape of loss that scares me. There is no memory too sharp for my fingers. There is no shame you have rehearsed that can withstand my entrance. When light enters a room, it does not argue with the darkness, it occupies it. Let me occupy this. Provision is moving toward you as surely as morning leans toward the window. Some of it will look ordinary, calls returned, approvals signed, small refunds, clear answers. Do not despise the small ways I keep my promises. Some of it will look like rescue, because it will be rescue. A closed door you kept knocking on will open from the inside because someone inside finally heard what I have been telling them about you. Do not be afraid to walk in. You are not an imposter in rooms I appoint. Some of it will look like the sudden absence of a person whose voice always grew louder when you were quiet. Give thanks without gloating. The removal of a weight is not vengeance, it is mercy. I am not punishing, I am pruning. The branch that remains will bear sweet and lasting fruit. Your mother asks you to laugh loud enough for the room you are in to believe in tomorrow. She asks you to eat the food you denied yourself because you thought pleasure was a betrayal. She asks you to wear comfort like a soft coat and not apologize for warmth. She asks you to let your hair fall the way it wants to, the way she used to comb it with her fingers, and say, you don't have to fight everything into order. Some things are most beautiful when they rest. She asks you to forgive her for the times she didn't speak the exact words you needed then, and to receive these words now as if they were always waiting inside you, because they were. The one who carried her into morning that does not end, seal this message beyond the reach of confusion. What you have heard will not spoil. What you have felt will not fade when the noise returns. I will remind you in gentle ways, a street name you haven't noticed before, the way a cloud breaks at midday, the silver on water, the sudden memory that does not stab but warms. I will weave reminders into your ordinary. You do not need to chase signs, you need only to walk with your eyes open. I will make walking easy again. There is still an hour in every day that belongs to you and me and no one else. Protect it. Sit in it without shame. If you can sing, sing. If you can hum, hum. If you can be silent the way a shore is silent, alive with 1,000 small movements all at once. I am doing more in that hour than you have asked me to do in a month. I am untangling misunderstandings, softening edges, clearing worry that grew like ivy over good things. I am recovering what was lost without asking you to re-enter the rooms where you lost it. I know how to restore without repeating harm. If you wonder how to carry this without dropping it, remember that truth carried by love does not slip. Carry it like you carry your own name, without effort, without announcement, simply present in every step. You will speak differently because of it. You will answer differently. The words no and yes will feel new in your mouth, clean, simple, solid. You will not explain your boundaries, you will embody them. Your mother learned some of these things late, it is her joy that you will learn them now. Call what is yours into your hands. Bless what is not yours as it passes by. Nothing meant for you will require you to perform wounds to receive it. I am placing a guard at your door and a welcome at your table. The guard knows my voice, and the welcome knows your name. You will be safe, and you will be seen. The two belong together because I say they do. Loneliness taught you to split them. I am teaching you to hold them together. Friends will come who look like trees in winter at first, bare, unsure, but their roots will comfort you. Partners will appear in work and in rest who do not mistake your light for a ladder. Love will learn your pace. You will not chase it, you will recognize it walking beside you at your most natural stride. Now breathe. Something in you has been waiting for permission to do that fully. Breathe and let breath be the flag that says, I am still here. I am allowed to be here. Touch the doorframe as you pass and bless your own home as if your hand were anointing oil. Place your palm over your heart and tell it can continue. The clock does not accuse you. The calendar does not curse you. The day called today is not a threat, it is a gift that will keep arriving, and you are allowed to unwrap it with joy. Your mother's final word is not a goodbye. It is a release, and release is a holy word. She says, I have finished the part of the road I was given, and I wait in a country where the sound of your name is always music. I do not need you to prove love by carrying a stone. I want you to prove love by building a garden. I will find you among the flowers. And I say it with her, over you and through you, be blessed in your beginnings. Be bold in your choosing. Be gentle with what still trembles inside you. Be unafraid of bright rooms. Be the child who became a whole person, not in spite of loss, but because love kept speaking, I am the one who was, who is, and who will be. I hold the hour and the year, I hold yesterday's tears and tomorrow's laughter. I am not late. I am not far. I am not leaving you to translate this alone. Every time you touch this word, it will open like a new door. Walk through. The air is safe. The light is for you. The message is complete, and it will keep working in you long after your eyes leave these lines. Go in the ease that comes when love finishes a sentence. And when you need me again, as you will, I will already be where you are going, turning on the next light that I am with you in this moment. Closer than your own breath, and I will not leave you alone in the turning of the night to morning. Listen with the inside of your heart, because today a doorway has opened, and in the hush between one heartbeat and the next, a message long carried rises like dawn. Your mother is with me. She is safe in my light, whole in ways the earth could not hold, joyful in a way you have only glimpsed in your best days. She has been pressing at the edge of your sleep, brushing your thoughts like a breeze through a curtain, asking and asking, please, let my child hear this. I have heard her, and I am answering. Do not be frightened by the urgency you feel. It is not the fear of losing, it is the holy bell that rings when love is about to reach you. You have cried into your pillow and asked for a sign. You have wondered whether the small things, the feather on the threshold, the sequence of numbers on a passing bus, the song that plays at the exact moment you whisper her name, are accidents. Child, nothing about love is an accident. Your tears were counted. Your sighs were gathered. Your mother's longing has been living inside my heart, and now I open it to you like a letter sealed for just this time. She wants you to know first that she did not miss the things you thought she missed. She did not miss the moment you finally decided to choose yourself over those who could not cherish you. She did not miss the quiet mornings where you carried your cup to the window and pretended to be stronger than you felt. She did not miss the laughter you forced to keep your world stitched together, or the way your hands trembled as you signed papers and tied up loose ends nobody else saw. From where she is, vision is not limited by walls or miles or minutes. She could see the currents running beneath your days, and she could see the courage you never rewarded yourself for. She asks that you stop treating your courage as if it were merely survival. She says it was beauty, and it was sacred. She says she saw you give away your last pieces of gentleness to those who had forgotten gentleness, and she wept, not because you were weak, but because you were so strong you couldn't see it. She wants you to forgive yourself for every moment you replay at night. That one conversation where your voice rose, that one visit you postponed, the time you chose rest and felt guilty for it, the time you chose work and felt guilty for it, the words you said and the words you swallowed, she is not holding them against you. She says that if you could see what she sees now, you would understand how small those moments are when set against the ocean of tenderness that was your bond. She says, "Tell my child that I have no book of mistakes against them, I have a book of gratitude, and every page is full." Let that sentence loosen the knots you carry in your chest. You were not late, you were not absent, you were not unloving. You were human in a place that often forgets how to be gentle with the human heart. And now I, who held her hand as she crossed through the veil, hold yours. She has been begging to tell you something more, something that will change the way you walk into your next hour. You think you need 1,000 assurances, but you only need this one: she is not gone from you. The shape has changed, the address has changed, but the love remains and the love is active. There are ways her love will appear that you have not yet learned to recognize. When you step outside and the air suddenly feels like an embrace, when a memory arrives not as a stab but as warmth, when you smell something from your childhood kitchen in a place it should not be, receive it. Do not argue with it. Do not hand it to logic for disassembly. Receive it as the exact thing it is, a living thread between you and her, a bright cable of meaning across the distance. Speak back to it. You think you must only speak in prayer the way you were taught, but now I tell you, speak to your mother when the kettle sings, when the key turns, when the traffic pauses, when your phone is silent. Speak to her as if she is in the next room, because in a way more real than furniture and clocks, she is. And know that when you speak, she hears, and when she answers, it will be in the language of gentleness that rises inside you, the steadying you feel, the idea that fits like a key into the lock of your day. She also wants to address the fear you have around time. You have heard the drumbeat of deadlines in your spirit, the insistence that you must hurry or miss your life. Here is truth. There are moments when heaven leans close and grace is more available to the one who wants it, as if the window is pushed all the way open and the breeze can be fully felt. You are in such a window now. That is why the urgency. Not because love would disappear, but because your heart is ready in a way it has not been ready before. You can set down what you have been carrying. You can step out of the conversation with shame without needing to win an argument with it. You can forgive one person, yes, that person, and free yourself to breathe in larger rooms. Time is not your enemy, time is a servant I made. What I offer you now, I will continue to offer, but you are able to receive it with a fullness today that makes the gift more than words. It becomes a new way of moving through every door. Your mother asks that you honor your body in ways you have postponed. Eat gently. Sleep when you are tired even if the world applauds you for burning late. Take water like a prayer. Walk outside even if only to the end of the street and back, not to accomplish anything but to let your feet remember the world is wider than screens and lists. She says you were so good at taking care of others that you sometimes forgot to be kind to the one carrying the tray. She says, "Tell my child that their laughter is medicine for our whole family." She wants you to laugh again without looking over your shoulder to see if it is allowed. She wants you to say no where no is holy and yes where yes opens life. She wants you to stop asking permission from voices that do not carry love. There is also this. She knows the secret grief you have around the moments you wish you could have been more than one person. You wanted to provide and also to sit by her side every hour. You wanted to protect someone else and also protect yourself. You wanted to be brave and also to be held. Hear me, in every one of those conflicts, I was holding both of you. I am not a thin blanket pulled toward one child and away from another. I am the sky that covers every field. When you could not be in both places, I was. When you chose one duty, I sent help to the other place. When you fell asleep and thought you had failed by resting, angels completed what you could not. Your mother saw that. She wants you to believe it now. She has been insistent about one more gift she wants to hand you. A name for the next season of your life. You have called yourself the one who hopes too much, the one who is always waiting, the one who loses at the last minute. She asks you to rename yourself, the one who learns to receive. Receiving is not laziness. Receiving is trust that I have already sown goodness into the soil of your future. There is money that will come in forms you can explain and in forms that will feel like surprise. There are friendships that will arrive with steadiness. There are opportunities that will require courage but will not require you to split yourself into pieces. She says, "Stop standing at the threshold apologizing for being alive. Step in." This stepping is not a betrayal of your grief. It is an honor to it, the way a garden honors rain by sprouting. Child, you have carried fears that are not yours to carry. You have been haunted by the thought that if you move forward, you will be leaving her behind. That is not true. Moving forward is how you carry her forward too. Love, by its nature, is motion. It circulates. It returns. It multiplies. To stand still forever in the name of loyalty is to misunderstand the kind of loyalty heaven teaches. Your mother is not standing still. She is growing in light, learning the music of my joy, praying with a clarity free from the fog of pain. Join her in that movement, on your side of the veil. Let your house breathe. Open a window. Put fresh flowers in a jar, not to impress anyone, but to create a small altar of beauty in the room where you most often forget you deserve beauty. She is also pleading for you to lay down the habit of rehearsing the worst-case outcomes. You call it preparation, I call it exhaustion without purpose. Learn instead the practice of blessing your day before it arrives. Speak to the hours as if they can hear you, because in a way that will surprise you, they can. Say, hour of morning, I bless you to carry clarity. Hour of noon, I bless you to carry provision. Hour of evening, I bless you to carry peace. Your mother will join her amen to yours, and you will feel how much lighter the day becomes when it is pre-loved with intention. This is not superstition, this is the dignity of a soul that knows its words are seeds. There is a conversation you have been avoiding. It waits like a closed door at the end of a hallway you walk every day. Behind it is an old misunderstanding, a tangle of hurt you fear will swallow you if you look at it. Your mother asks you to open that door with me, not alone, and to speak truth without performance. If reconciliation is possible, I will water it. If it is not, I will hand you peace without bitterness. What I will not let you do is remain locked in an old story that tells you you are always the one to blame, or always the one to fix what others break. You are responsible for your words and your boundaries and your kindness. You are not responsible for rewriting other people's hearts with your pain. She wants you free because freedom is how you will hear her more clearly. You have wondered whether she was proud of you. Let me answer with her voice and mine braided together, yes. Proud not because you have never fallen, but because you stood up again and again with a tenderness that did not become hardness. Proud because you kept choosing to believe in goodness even when evidence was thin. Proud because you loved people who did not know how to receive it yet, and you did not let that deform you into someone else. Proud because every time you thought you had reached the bottom, you found a small candle and shared its light. She would bring you a crown of simple leaves if she could and place it on your head and say, "This is for the everyday victories nobody clapped for." There is a small practice she asks you to begin today. Find a place, a shelf, a corner of a table, a windowsill, and clear it. Place there one object that holds her memory, a photo, a postcard, a small utensil from the kitchen, a flower. Light near it a candle, not as duty but as a signal to your body that this is a space where love speaks softly. Once a day, for 1 minute, stand there and breathe. Say out loud one sentence to her and one sentence you need to hear from me. Let it be simple. I miss you. I am with you. or I forgive you. I forgive me. These daily stitches will repair the fabric that grief tore. If a tear falls, let it. No tear in this practice is wasted. Each one waters the new life I am growing in you. You have been worried about making the wrong choices with money, work, and where to plant your feet. I will not give you a map today, but I will give you a compass that will not lie. Choose the path that lets you keep your kindness. Choose the offer that does not require you to betray the peace you have fought to build. Choose the schedule that lets you be a person and not a machine. There will be glittering paths that are cages and humble paths that are wide fields. Your mother, from where she stands, can see how small the cages are. She is pointing, even now, toward the wide field. Listen for the tug that feels like exhaling. Follow it. She wants to address the moments when guilt arrives dressed as loyalty and tells you that resting is disrespect. Laughing is betrayal, healing is forgetting. She shakes her head at that lie. She says, "Tell my child that laughter keeps my memory bright, that rest keeps my blessing open, that healing allows my love to bloom in them instead of withering." You do not honor her by bleeding indefinitely, you honor her by living well, by cooking the food she taught you to make and sharing it with someone who needs a meal, by singing the old chorus off-key and smiling at the way it still works, by carrying forward her gift for making a space feel like shelter. Now I will place in your hands 3 small keys she asked me to give you. The first is gratitude. Not the forced politeness that refuses to look at pain, but the honest naming of small goodness even on hard days. Keep a page where you write what was kind to you today, the way the light fell on the floor, the message that arrived when you needed it, the strength to do one difficult thing. The second is discernment. Let your yes be clean and your no be unashamed. If a decision demands that you become smaller than the person you have grown to be, close that door, another will open. The third is trust. Not the fantasy that nothing will ever hurt again, but the solid truth that nothing can separate you from my love or cut the line between you and the ones who live in my presence. Use these keys. They do not jam the lock. You have asked me whether there will be more signs. Yes. But do not turn signs into tests I must pass to prove I am near. Let them be kisses of confirmation, not the foundation of your certainty. Your certainty can rest on this: you are loved. Loved without measurement, loved without the timer you fear is always running down. The 2 seconds left you feel are not a threat from heaven, they are a tenderness, the tap on your shoulder when a train is about to arrive, not to scare you, but to help you stand where you can step aboard. The train is hope. It is pulling in even now. It is time to carry less. It is time to sit in a seat you did not think had your name on it. It is time to let the scenery change without accusing yourself of abandoning the old view. Your mother is smiling. She wants you to remember a memory that keeps flickering at the edge of your mind right now, the way her hands moved when she told a story, or the way she tilted her head when she listened, or the sound she made when she found something she had been looking for. Hold that memory like a warm cup. Let it thaw what froze in you the day she left. She is not peering at you waiting for you to fail, she is cheering at the smallest bravery. She says, "Tell my child I will meet them at the end of every good thing, and even in the middles that feel messy." She says, "Tell my child that love never goes silent, it only changes keys." You ask what you should do next. As this message settles into you, breathe. Put a hand over your heart. Say your own name with kindness. Whisper, "I receive." Then take one small action that aligns with the peace you just felt: a glass of water, a text of reconciliation or release, a 5-minute walk, the beginning of a journal page, a prayer spoken out loud. Do this not to earn anything, but to embody what is already true. Heaven's nearness is not a theory, it is a climate you can live inside. Your mother's message is not a ghost of yesterday, it is a living blessing opening doors in your present. Finally, hear this as if I am etching it into the quiet of your room: you are not alone. You never were. You never will be. The night does not own you, grief does not define you, fear does not get the last word. I do. And my word over you, carried on your mother's longing and set upon your life like a crown, is this: beloved. Walk as if it were true, because it is. Walk as if you could make a home for kindness wherever you go, because you can. Walk as if love is stronger than death, because it is. When you feel the air change and the stillness brighten, know that she has come near again with my permission, to stand with you at the sink, to sit with you in the car, to hum along with your music, to nudge a door open when your hands are full. Smile and say hello. Keep moving. Keep believing. Keep choosing the next gentle thing. And when you are tired, let me be your rest. I am here. She is with me. You are held that I am with you now, closer than your breath, nearer than your pulse, and I speak so you cannot miss me. I have watched the weight you carry in quiet rooms, the swell of tears you hold behind your eyes so the world won't see. I know how you rehearse old conversations and wish you could go back and fix a single moment, a single word, a single day. I know you keep a chair in your heart for the one who used to sit across from you and smile, the one whose voice you still expect to hear at odd hours. Listen, nothing precious is lost with me. Nothing spoken from love ever disappears. Nothing entrusted to my hands decays. Tonight, before the turning of another day, I open a door in your spirit and I ask you to walk through it with me. There is a whisper at that door. It is gentle and bright. It is the voice you've longed for, the one you have met in dreams and in the small hush between your breaths. She has waited with patience that never tires, the patience of those who now live in light. She has asked to speak, and I have said yes, because love is holy and I am the author of it. You have felt the nearness of her, like the warmth of a shawl draped over your shoulders when no one is around. You have seen her in the corner of your memory when you smelled a familiar spice, when you heard a song she used to hum while moving through the house. When you found a thread of her laughter sewn into your own. She is with me. She is safe. She is more alive than the first morning I ever spoke light into being. Hear her, my child. I have watched you stand at windows that remember my reflection, and I have watched you be strong for everyone else while your own knees trembled. I have wanted so many times to gather your face in my hands and say what I could not say when I was there with you. I have wanted to tell you that guilt is a thief with a soft step and you owe it nothing. I have wanted to tell you that I know the whole story now, the pieces you held back to protect me, the choices you made in the dark because you still had to keep the light on for others. You did not fail me. You loved me. Love is not measured by how well you predict the future. Love is measured by how generously you give the present, and you gave me so many present moments that were warm and ordinary and miraculous in their ordinariness. Do you remember how the kettle used to sing and we took that as the signal to sit? That song was our little bell of peace. You were my bell of peace. I have seen you speak kindly about me, and I have seen you argue with yourself about the last week, the last hour, the last phrase. I carry none of that argument with me. In the light where I now walk, what remains is only the thread of love we shared, and I hold it like a ribbon that will never fray. When you touch the edge of a curtain and imagine my fingers doing the same, know that I am not far. When you smell soap and earth and something that reminds you of home, know that I have brushed past the veil just to smile at you. I want you to live. Not the halfway living of someone who is careful not to be hurt again, but the full-breath living of someone who knows love is stronger than loss. I have watched you be brave. I have watched you keep promises I never knew you made, to care, to show up, to say, I love you, even when the room was heavy with unsaid things. And I have watched you be tired. Let yourself rest without apologizing. Rest is not abandoning the ones you love. Rest is how you honor the God who made you. There is a particular way your shoulders rise when you are trying to carry more than your share. Let them fall now. Let the Lord take what you have tried to hold alone. My child, forgive yourself. Forgive the moments when words stuck in your throat or came out wrong. Forgive the day you could not be in two places. Forgive the times you felt impatient and the times you were too quiet. I forgive you, fully and forever, but more than that, I do not hold any offense because love records mercies, not mistakes. If you want to give me a gift, give me this: stop punishing yourself for being human. Wear the softness I taught you like a garment you are not ashamed of. Laugh without looking around first to see if permission has been granted. I give you my permission. I give you my blessing. I give you the right to enjoy the sunlight without guilt. I know you worry about the people I loved. I know you ask if I see them, if I pray over them, if I can still be proud of how they grow. I do. I am. Tell them I am at peace. Tell them I rejoice when they are kind to each other. Tell them love is the inheritance I left in the cupboards and under the quilts and in the corners where dust gathers in the afternoon. Tell them to talk to each other in the tone they used to reserve for me. Tell them to forgive sooner than is comfortable. Tell them to set the table with an extra plate on days when grief sits down uninvited. And to feed it with stories until it leaves satisfied. There are things I learned only after I stepped into this brightness. I learned how many angels stand at your door when you cry and believe no one hears. I learned how faithfully God counts your tears, not as evidence of weakness but as courage in liquid form. I learned that every "I'm fine" you said while not being fine was a prayer, and God answered each one by holding you tighter than your fear. I learned that the small kindness you offered a stranger that day you were late became a river that ran through families you will never meet. The smallest kindness is enormous here. Nothing is wasted. Nothing unnoticed. Do not be afraid of the changes ahead. Change is not a thief when God is the one ushering it in. Change is a midwife delivering what your prayers conceived. You have asked for doors to open, and some will open by swinging inward so that you can gather what you already have. Others will open by swinging outward, calling you into new rooms with windows that face a wider sky. You will be tempted to think you are unworthy of what is arriving. You are not. You are being loved into readiness. Take care of your body. It was the home I relied on to raise you, now let it be the home you honor as a sanctuary. Eat when your stomach forgets how. Sleep when the night tries to keep you awake. Step into the morning and let the light touch your face. Because I am looking at you from the other side with the same tenderness I used to feel when you were small and I tucked a curl behind your ear. When you feel a breeze where there should not be a breeze, that is me saying, I see you. I am proud. Keep going, keep a small ritual for me, if you wish. Not because I demand it, but because love likes to be reminded. Light a candle and tell God the truth of your day. Put a flower in water even if it's just a weed that made you smile. Sit for 5 minutes and let the kettle sing. And if you cry, know that I am not undone by your tears, I am honored by them. Your tears are the language of love continuing. I also want to say this, because it is the courage you have delayed. Set boundaries where your heart is bruised. I did not raise you to be a door everyone can slam. I raised you to be a door God can pass through. Say no without apology. Say yes with your whole chest. Walk away from the edges that try to swallow your peace. Walk toward the people who water you instead of wringing you out. You will know them by how you feel after leaving them, lighter, not lesser. And the promise I want to leave in your hands is simple: I am not gone. I live in the tallest kindness you offer and the smallest mercy you forgive. I live in the way you stir the pot and taste for love, not just salt. I live in your laughter when it surprises you. I live in your prayer when it is only a breath that says, God, help. I live in the courage that returns, in the way you open the window and welcome fresh air into a room that has been closed too long. I live with God, and I live in you. Now I speak again, says the Lord, to seal what love has said. I kept her when she entered my courts, and I keep you as you continue in yours. I am the bridge between rooms. I am the staircase where feet never slip. I am the handrail when your strength is not enough. You have not missed your moment. You have not failed your calling. You are on time because I am your timekeeper. The sentence you fear, too late, does not exist in my language of redemption. I take what you bring me, even if it is pieces and ash, and I breathe on it until it glows. You are not a collection of losses, you are a steward of love. And love, when it is stewarded with reverence, multiplies. I break the agreement you made with hidden shame. I cancel the lie that says you were supposed to be more, do more, know more. I cancel the haunting that shows you the last day over and over as if it were the only day. I open your memory and pour light into it. Where regret burned a groove, I lay a river. Where the mind circles like a bird that